Well, friends, have you heard about that 999 challenge that many MLB teams are offering that's totally worth the money and not a ripoff at all?
Whoa, no way. Tell me more, Drewski.
Yeah, like at the San Francisco Giants game, you can get the 999 challenge for only $55. It
Only
includes 9 mini
55?
hot dogs, only 55, and it includes 9 mini hot dogs, 9 cups for your beer, and then 1 beer.
One
Who
beer.
genuinely who in MLB marketing or whatever department this would be in thought this was a good idea? I wanna
Yeah.
talk to him.
Because we know the 999 challenge is, 9 beers, 9 hot dogs, and 9 innings. The hot dogs part of this, having them be mini hot dogs, that makes sense to me. That's fine.
Yeah, look,
It's
I
nine
can
dogs.
I
It's
can
not
live with it
9 mini
being
hot
9
dogs,
mini
I'll
hot
be real.
dogs.
They're not mini though. They are quarter pound hot dogs. They're just ballparks do offer bigger hot dogs. That is true.
Yeah,
They
I
do
mean,
offer bigger, but these are the ones you're still gonna like. You're gonna get more at home, I guess.
Yeah, they're like
But
the value dogs.
it's the
they're
when you
tiny.
guys
They're
broke
not regular sized hot dogs. They're all each probably about, like, half like, 2 of them probably equals about 1 actual hot dog.
no, I mean I from what I read online, they were 4 ounces is a quarter pound or 3 ounces
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
maybe they're deceivingly
I
big
think
in
you're
that.
I think you're
No,
referring
that's wrong.
to the
What are you talking about?
glasses because the glasses are an estimated 3 to 4
I was
ounces.
gonna say, the
Oh, maybe I
glasses are
thought you
about
said that was
4
the
ounce.
hot dogs. I was wrong
I don't
then.
I mean, the hot
Ooh.
dogs, now that I'm looking at it again, this video,
Compared to the
from
guy's
SF
hand?
Gate, credit, um, yeah, they look slightly bigger than I actually thought they were, but they're still not regular sized hot dogs. I
Definitely not.
mean,
There
they're probably
there's
about, like, 2/3 the length of a normal hot dog, which is
it's
still not horrible.
it's a two-part thing where I do appreciate that baseball is trying to keep up with kinda current trends and stuff, they've been trying to do that a little bit more with VTubers being on we've talked a little bit about this. But 999 challenge was a little bit too late. That was a little bit more popular last year, and I think the year before. I mean, it's still around. People still do it, but like I think a couple famous people did it last year that would have caught on fire a little bit better. And then on the other hand, it's also just nowhere near the value that it should be for
Yeah.
$55. Granted, I don't know. You would have to ask what the math is on what would 9 regular stadium beers and 9 hot dogs cost. It's well more than $55.
Oh, I
For
mean,
sure.
absolutely, and I mean, I also understand that there is not a baseball stadium on the planet that is going to allow you to purchase 9 full-size beers at
Yep.
once.
That
So, I
was
mean,
the other
this is
thing
kind of their
legally.
way around that, but, like, I know City Field, at least, you can buy at least 2 at a time, so, like, for 55 or I mean, maybe, like, if you bump it up to, like, no, I think 55 bucks would be perfect. Just give us an extra beer.
I don't think
Well,
we've
not
I
gone.
mean, that
I'm just gonna say I don't think we've gone in depth enough on how much of a scam the beer part is. So
yes.
we talked about the
yeah.
hot dogs and how they're smaller hot dogs. That's
I'll be
fine.
real. The hot dogs are probably, I mean, if I for the 55 bucks, I mean, it's still not, I'm still not buying it, but the hot dog portion of it holds its own. It's obviously not 9 full-sized hot dogs, but they are reasonably sized hot dogs to be purchasing 9 at once to eat, you
Right.
know.
But the beer,
But the yeah.
you okay. I understand that 9 cans of beer, 9 full cans of beer. That's a lot. Like they're not gonna.
Yeah.
They're like we said, they're not gonna let us buy a full 9 beers at once. But they got to do more than one tall can of beer. That is like 2 cans of beer in this. Like
I mean, yeah,
it's not even
that's
enough to fill the tiny ass cups that they give you.
I mean, that's yeah, that's the most damning thing is that, like, in the video, it fills up about 8 and, like, quarter cups.
Yeah.
And he's not even filling it up all the way. He's probably filling it, there's still a decent amount left. It doesn't even
So
fill up 8 1/4 because it fills up 8 or like maybe like 7 3/4 and then gets a tiny little bit out into that last one.
Yeah,
It is not
it
9.
looks like
It's
maybe
yeah.
like slightly larger shot glasses, honestly.
they're a little bit more than
A
that,
little
but
more than that. Maybe like
the
2
way I
shots,
look
but
into
like
this is if you're doing it to be anything like reminiscent of what the actual 999 challenge is, you're nowhere near close to it. Is it it's definitely a safer version with the least like a significantly less amount of beer. So you can go to the park and do it and be like, oh look, I completed the 999 challenge. It's not gonna hit the same, especially if people ask questions. I see this as it's I guess a relatively decent affordable way to get a couple dogs and a beer in you because it's definitely not a lot of beer. But if you split it between like 4 people, you're looking at like $13 a person to get 2 dogs and 2 of those glasses down, basically. So if you really look into it that way, it's not the worst deal at a baseball stadium. But the point of it being the 999 challenge is kind of where it gets me. It's like you're not selling this as split this between 4 of your friends, kind of thing. This is
right.
supposed to be a singular thing, and that's where they lost it. They just and please God, if we're being generous, the tall boy is a 24-ounce tall boy, but my googling says most Coors in the picture it's Coors is a 16-ounce can, which is not even two
Yeah.
full beers because normal beers are 12 ounces. So the
Yeah.
fact that it's not even if we're generous and say it's 24 for $55, you're only getting 24 2 beers with that. Ugh. Come on,
Yeah.
guys. Come on,
So
guys.
more of the story. If you're going to a Giants game, I don't know how it looks at a Mets game. I haven't seen what that looks like.
I
Do
can
not
try
get
and
it.
report on that this weekend,
It is
but
it
yeah,
is
I mean,
generally not worth it. Just get your own hot dogs and beers. Don't go for the 999
just
challenge.
do the challenge at home.
Do the
It's
challenge at home.
significantly you don't have
I
to worry
agree.
about leaving on getting home after, which don't drink and drive regardless,
Oh
but
yeah.
it is easier. You're
I
you're
would
you're within sprinting distance of your own toilet if you have to throw up. I mean, it's significantly better and cheaper to do at home.
Oh
Exactly.
god. Yeah. You can get like a 12 pack of Coors, the buns, the dogs, and all of that for probably 3/4 of the price or
Yeah.
less. And you're also still getting more at that point too, because you're not just getting 9 dogs. And well, I mean, no, not really. I guess you go to a butcher, maybe you can go get some like singular dogs, but like if you're buying packages of dogs, by the time you buy your 10 pack of dogs, or if you have to buy a couple packs because they don't come in 10 plus a couple buns, it's like 30-40 bucks probably. But like I said,
I yeah,
you're also getting at least 12 beers too.
you could legitimately do this yourself at home with the full things for the same price as buying it at the game.
I'm just gonna say, and you kind of address this. Like, I'm just gonna say, know your limits. It's a fun, I would say younger person's challenge. Oh fuck it, I'm gonna try and drink 9 beers, 9 hot dogs, all in 9 innings. Like, go for it, have a little fun, but know your limits. And if it's just not something to do, just don't even attempt
Yeah.
it.
All right,
But
I'm gonna
yeah,
reel us in here. Welcome to the
this is not a fishing podcast.
It is not, but welcome to the Untitled Furry Baseball Podcast. My name is Argo.
We never decide
My
who
name
goes
is
next,
Drewski.
and I'm Solis the Wolf.
I'm saying it now. That is the order we're going to go with from now on.
I'm last.
I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Just like the
Saving the
Cardinals
best
are going to
for
be this year.
last.
Yeah,
Just like the Mets are gonna collapse because fuck you.
No, okay. I was going to make a joke that you're batting cleanup, but I'm not even going to make that joke anymore because that's just mean. Because the Mets won today. The Mets
So did the
destroyed Paul
Cardinals.
Skeen, destroyed
Well,
Skeens. So like,
I'll give them that credit that at least you took out. Was he Cy Young?
Look, yeah, he was Cy Young last year. He led the league in ERA with Cy Young. I mean,
Yeah, I mean
I
that's something to do.
I can
That's
get
not.
more in depth on the Mets when it's my turn, but I have
Yeah,
a
I
lot to talk
honestly,
about from the
if we want to
opening
start
today.
with the Mets, you can go right ahead.
Yep. So, obviously Mets had a big offseason, disappointing 2025. Let some guys walk, Pete Alonso, Brandon Nimmo, Jeff McNeil. They're all on other teams now. They're gone. And, the guys that they replaced them with were as advertised. And, even guys that were not really expected to do what they did today. I mean, Luis Robert Jr., who in that first inning where they really got the schemes, he's never been known as a guy with good plate discipline. And he had probably one of the best plate appearances of the day. Took a 10 pitch walker, he got on base, eventually scored. And that's a huge reason why they were able to chase schemes early, is because of these great at bats. And Brett Beatty, who really broke out last year. He's the guy who got it started. He had a 3-run triple in the first. So Marcus Semien, he had 2 hits today. He was looking good. Jorge Polanco, I know he's your boy,
That's my
Argo. He got
boy.
on base 3 times. Bo Bichette had an RBI. Wasn't his greatest game. He did strike out 3 times. He's probably about the only person in the lineup who really didn't have a good game. But I'm very excited. It it really felt like the culmination of David Stearns looking at what he had this offseason, looking at what he needed to do. Get guys who were going to take better at bats, who were going to hit in the clutch, and that's what everybody did then. And, that's why they put up 11 against the Pirates, who, for what it's worth, have one of the better pitching staffs in the league, or at least on paper do. So, you know, I'm very excited. Freddie Peralta, yeah, would have liked to see a little bit better from him, but I'm also not going to complain too much about a guy who struck out 7 in 5 innings for 4 earned runs. Not at all horrible. And I think ultimately he'll be better than that as time goes on. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with the first game of the season.
Nice. And I know who's not happy about the first game of the season, Paul Skeens.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, 5 in the
si-
first.
yeah, let in 5 runs in the first inning. Didn't even finish out the first inning. They pulled him after 2 outs. Uh, and I gotta say, I watched a bit of it. I didn't watch a lot of the game because I was at work during it. But luckily, we had it up on the TV, so when I could, I looked over, and I was shocked to see a 5-2 in the first.
Yeah.
And it was in part because of not really just. I think part of it is not just Paul Skeens. I think a lot of it is also O'Neal Cruz for dropping 2 fly balls in center field.
Yeah.
Ooh.
O'Neal Cruz was a butcher in center in that first inning. And, people are quick to get on Skeens, but I got to say that was probably more so on O'Neal Cruz's horrible defense. Because if he could, the Mets probably score like, 2 runs that inning, maybe.
Hmm.
But yeah,
I mean, they only charged one error, and I'm not sure if that's the error he got charged on one of those, but just looking at the quick
I
stats here.
believe he got charged on an error on the second one. Who ended up being I think I think it might have been scored a double for
Mm.
Semien. I don't actually know which one was scored an error. I would actually have to look back at that. Um, yeah, it does. I mean, looking at game day on the MLB app, it does not look like either of the plays in the first were ruled an error. I would
Hmm.
actually have to go back and see, because I was listening. I had a meeting at work right at 2 o'clock,
Oh.
so I had to kind of skip out of the game for a bit. But yeah, it doesn't look like any of the scoring plays in the first were ruled in error. So I'm curious as to
Hmm.
which one actually was.
I'm curious as to why that is because
Hmm.
they looked pretty egregious. At least the one that I was able to see, it looked egregious.
Yeah, the triple, the Beatty triple, definitely wasn't great. He started in, when he should have gone out. Like, that's little league stuff. They teach you that in little league. And but it was hit pretty hard by Beatty, and I think there's a chance even if he did, start back like he was supposed to, there's still a chance that gets over his head. But
Mhm.
the semi and double, I mean that should have been easily caught.
Right.
And if I'm being
Bro.
honest, I have no idea why that was not scored as an error on him. But I think with as far as outfielders go, like unless you just straight up have it in your glove and drop it, I feel like it's pretty rare for it to be scored an error on the outfielder.
Mhm. It could maybe be overturned later kind of thing for stats reasons, but
Yeah, I
it is
think
a lot harder
yeah.
because it's one of those things unless you royally fuck up a route or something, they won't usually give the error.
Yeah, I mean it's really a judgment call. I mean, again, unless you fuck up a route or you just straight up drop it, Aaron Judge 2024 World Series style. It's not getting scored an error on an outfielder usually.
Yeah. Just a reminder, we record these on Thursdays, so we don't have a full set of games yet. Poor Argo's got to wait for his Mariners still. It'll actually
Yeah.
kick
About
off. It's gonna
20
kick off
minutes.
while we're doing this.
It is,
Yeah.
yeah, in about 20 minutes, Mariners Guardians in my opinion, probably one of the more underrated pitching matchups you could have in baseball, with
Ooh.
Tanner Bybee versus Logan Gilbert. But I know it's Argo. I'm sure wants to get more into that because that's his Mariners.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd love to talk about the Mariners. They're playing tonight into the Guardians. We got Logan Gilbert on the mound. Let me actually pull up the lineup because I am pretty happy with the lineup we've got today.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can actually find this.
We had a little bit of surprising stuff on my side. I'm excited to talk about too.
Ooh, let's see the lineup for today for the Mariners. Yes. Start with Brendan Donovan, which I think was expected
Oh,
for him to be leading the lineup. Really excited to see what he can do for this roster. We got Cal, then Julio in 2-3, and then Josh Naylor hitting fourth. I think he was between fourth and fifth all when he was on the lineup last season, so I'm excited to see him there again. Randy, Luke Rayleigh, Dominic Canzone, Cole Young. I love Cole Young, one of my favorite players to watch from last season who came in as a rookie, and Leo Rivas. Leo Rivas taking place on shortstop in place of JP Crawford, who is starting the season on the injured list, along with Bryce Miller on the injured list. But yeah, really excited for this. I think this lineup looks a lot more stacked than it did at the start of last year. I don't have the exact roster of the opening day for the Mariners last season, but I think that this lineup looks really good. I'm really excited to see what they can do tonight, and we'll see a little
can
bit
we
of it
see?
at the start while we're still recording when we see the game begin.
I think that'd be fun for you to do a little update right at the end of the episode, so you can, if anything's happened, you can talk about it on the way
For
out.
sure, yeah.
Be
Uh,
awesome.
Speaking of games that will be happening during the episode, there is a game happening right now. Dodgers Diamondbacks. Dodgers are currently up 3-2 in the bottom of the fifth off of a 3-run, what looks like a 3-run home run by Andy Pahis.
Ooh, okay.
And yeah, and I need to rant a little bit about this because this is being played on NBC. And I was able to watch a little bit of this. I was able to watch like the beginning ceremony stuff while still at work. And man, I am going to hate how much this whole season the media is just going to focus entirely on the Dodgers.
Dodgers 3-peat.
It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
like the whole first half hour where they were showing, with all the opening day celebrations and things, they didn't show any Diamondbacks at all. It was
Oh,
literally all Dodgers, all Shohei Ohtani. I'm going to get sick of it. I'm already sick of it.
I mean, I think the entire league is going to be sick of it. I mean, we're pretty much headed for a lockout,
Yeah.
and everybody's really going to be sick of the Dodgers if they three-peat and that happens. I
Yeah.
mean,
right. It's a
like I
narrative.
get
It's
it.
something you can write.
It's the Dodgers are the first repeat champions we've had since. I mean, I guess the Yankees in the late '90s. I mean, and obviously pretty big deal when you're first time in 20 plus years you have a team repeat as world champions. And credit where credit's due. They played their asses off. Last year during the regular season, they were not. It was not the year before where they were coming into the postseason as a number one overall seed
Hmm.
and kind of just mow everyone down on their way there. Um, but still, there's 29 MLB teams that as of today, all still think they have a chance to win the World Series. Now, granted, there's maybe a third of those that can realistically say they have a chance to hoist the Commissioner's Trophy at the end of the year, but you know, people have already been sick of Otani. People are sick of the Dodgers, and on a national broadcast, and just completely ignore one of the two teams playing. It's kind of
Yeah,
shitty, and I
that's
don't
a little
like
rough.
seeing that.
I
Yeah.
guess you think about it as narratives. You think about who's hot, and obviously the Dodgers are going to have the hot because they're, again, yeah, reigning repeat champions going for the three-peat. And the Diamondbacks, you gotta think about, how big their fan base is, how well they did. And yeah, unfortunately, media is gonna try and go with what sells. And like you all said, just before a lockout, or possible lockout, with the bargaining deal. Um, it's just, and Shohei Otani, love him or hate him, is still pitching effectively. Well, we'll see in this regular season, but he should be back to pitching from like the World Baseball Classic. He's doing all right, still pitching, and he's an absolute threat when it comes to being a batter. So you're gonna see those narratives. At least I would state, for unless the Dodgers tank in this next month, they're gonna be relevant probably the whole year. Yeah, they would have to have a historic collapse for the media to look away
I
at
feel
this
like if
point,
they
and then
do have
you'd
a,
be looking.
I think if they do have a
Sorry.
collapse, the media will be staying right on top of them, and we will love it. Or
Well,
they'll
I
shy
don't think.
away and be bitches about it.
I was gonna say I don't think they will, because watching the former team, like originally, yeah, it's gonna be big news. Like, oh my god, they just lost 8 of their last 10. That's huge, or something like that. But if that becomes the norm and they're really behind going into the All-Star break, the other narratives, the other stories of whoever team is replacing them and is really standing out, that's where you have to change that focus. But I would say, yeah, if you don't like the Dodgers, it's going to be a little tough this year.
Yeah, I mean, again, I get it. They're the two-time defending world champions. Otani gets clicks, the Dodgers get clicks, so people are going to talk about them.
Mm,
Um,
it's
and
multicultural.
being baseball fans, we're also going to bitch about them. So
Yeah.
you know,
So, because not only is all of baseball here in America watching, but Otani does drive that Japanese viewership as well. So you get a lot of that. Um, 29 teams could host the trophy. I get to say that I get to say that I'm tied with the Brewers at the top of the Central right now.
Yeah, let's talk about your
Cubs,
Cardinals, who just took out a
Cubs,
win today.
Cubs, Pirates, Reds lost this today, so we're currently up tied 1-1 with the Brewers. I didn't look into it. Looks like runs scored. The Brewers put up 14 today, with only allowing 2. So they have a 12-run differential against whoever they played. Good for the Brewers. They
That was
beat
the
the
White
shit out of them.
Sox.
The White Sox. Oh
Yeah.
no! I see that now. Oh
yeah,
no!
the White Sox
God.
did not have.
I-
There were a actually surprising number of blowouts today.
Yeah,
Okay, there were three real blowouts, but still, I mean, it
including the first
was
game. The opening night game was a blowout, which sucked. We gotta talk
yeah.
about that
No
later.
one wanted to see the
We'll
Yankees.
talk
That's
about
too
that later,
bad.
but
Yep. Yep.
Solace, if you
Yeah.
would Solace, if you would like to talk about your team's win from today.
Oh baby, do I want to not talk about it and talk
Oh.
about it at the same time? It's so great. Um. Last side note on the White Sox, got a team I really wish would do better, so I could actually kind of care about the Chicago team. But as a Cardinals fan, I
Yeah, it's
can't
not
like
gonna
the
happen.
Cubs, so it'd be cool to be able to root for the White Sox too. But sitting at a crisp 1-0, starting the season. Let's go, baby. Oh God. Oh God. It seems like it's gonna be another one of them seasons, baby. I watched the highlights of this because I did not have the ability to really follow it play by play doing work today. I just got back from vacation. So I had to kind of really focus in on work. Um, we allowed, I mean, just give you this. We won 9-7 against the Tampa Bay Rays. 2 runs, that's nice. But the box score of the Rays was 7 runs on 17 hits, and they give up 2 errors. 7 runs on 17 hits. And the Cardinals had 9 runs on 14 hits, no errors. So, um, I think the 4th inning was the only time there was only 1 runner on the base, and every other inning had like 2 runners on base for
I
the
would
Cardinals the entire fucking game.
I would like to ask you what the hell happened in the 6th inning? Why were there why were there
I
14 total runs?
So that's another thing is why I'm like, oh God, it's gonna be another one of those seasons. I just don't know if the MLB just relief pitching just gets schlacked more because I don't know. It just feels like in the last few years that relief pitching going into your closer has given up more runs than your starters or your closers. Um, Relief pitching is obviously incredibly crucial. Um, but the Cardinals have struggled and struggled and struggled for the last decade. There's so many seasons that we could have absolutely won some playoff series and gone further even. Who knows? Had they not given up leads in like the 8th and 9th, but in this case in point, our starter, I believe it was Matt Liberatore. Yes. Torre, I don't know his last name. I think it's Liberatore. Um, he went 5 innings on 7 hits, but only 1 earned run, and it was on a home run. He only struck out 2, but he only walked 2 as well. Um, he saw again, not a lot. We did not turn a single double play, though, to put that into perspective. So it's not like he got out of innings because we got double plays, which the Cardinals are decent at usually. Um, 5th inning, we immediately get somebody in there by the name of Svanson. I don't know him very well. I haven't heard his name before as relief pitcher. He got 1 out, giving up 3 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. Uh, Followed up by this other guy named Bruhill, who only got another guy out, gave up a hit, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, and a walk. With another guy, Roycroft, who came in to relieve after him to get the final out of the 6th inning
But not without
on
3
3 hits,
hits.
3 hits, 1 run, and an earned run on him as well. So our 3 relievers have Swanson has an 81 ERA, Bruhill has a 54 ERA, and Roycroft has a 27
Woof.
ERA. Oh,
That
Oh
is a
yeah,
man,
rough inning.
average
relief
average
pitching.
Cardinals pitching experience.
Shut up. I'm gonna meet you in freaking New Jersey.
Looks like
Okay.
though you should also mention that the Rays had a similar experience. They put
Of
in 3
course.
relievers as well.
So Rasmussen, their starting pitcher, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run on 2 strikeouts, no walks. And it happened to come off of a home run. Speaking of that home run, he debuted in his major league debut. Uh, the Cardinals' #1 top prospect, Weatherholt. He was not. It's JJ Weatherholt. He was not supposed to start the season on roster, but he had a really strong spring and he did enough to give Ollie Marmol reason to bring him in on second base shortstop. His first outing, he I think struck out. But his second at bat was a 425 like 107 screamer dead center. Oh, and that's how we got on the board our first run of the game. And he was able to get a sac fly, which was also a very impressive sac fly, almost another bomb, um, for his debut. So immediately comes up, immediately makes some noise. Good to hear from him. But yeah, Rasmussen last 5 starts to get in a little trouble. Or not even get into trouble. They bring in a reliever named Seymour, who didn't get a fucking out. 5 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned.
Oh,
But he's not even the losing pitcher
Oh,
because at that point, I think
they brought in Clevenger.
they brought in Clevenger, who got 1 out, gave up 2 more hits and 2 more on 2 runs and both of them earned, and that ends him the lose because the loss because those extra last few runs did matter for the Cardinals by winning by 2. So he
yep.
gets the loss. Jacks their follower up to get the last 2 outs of that 6th inning. Ended up getting the blown save because he also gave up a hit and a run. And a hit, earned run on a home run. Thank God for that.
I mean, just
Their closer Gomez did good. Only 2 hits. But no, it's
I mean,
a shit show either way.
imagine being Drew Rasmussen and coming out and throwing 5 innings of 1-run ball in your first start of the year, and you're feeling really good. Hey, we're in this. We might get the win on opening day, and then your bullpen comes in
The next guy
and just
literally gives up
shits
5
all over
runs
them.
without getting an
I
out.
mean,
That is
starting the season on an infinite ERA is rough.
I was gonna say, yeah, technically, good old Seymour there. He's got an infinite ERA because he never recorded an out. He's just wolf. He's
Yeah,
gonna
that is bad.
kind of speaking about what you said, with Skeens and O'Neill having their problems in their games. It is game 1, and sometimes you get the yips. Sometimes you get a little, uh, you just get a little lost, and I don't know, you just have a shitty game. If you're gonna do it now so you can fix your shit. But yeah, Seymour, if you do another one of those innings where you don't get an out and you give up some runs, you might find your way getting shot down real quick. Like that is a very because it's one to give up a couple runs and get out of an inning. It's another to not record a single out and give up 5 runs. Woof. So that was the tale
Brutal.
of 2 stories on this game. The Cardinals absolutely should have got their asses beat today after giving up 6 runs in the 6th alone. But in a never can't die mentality, and god dang it, if I have another team that's called the Cardiac somethings, better not be the Cardiac Cardinals this year. Did that with the Bears during the NFL season. Uh they fought back. They absolutely squared up, and they put up 6 and you come back and put up 8. I mean, what can you say? You know?
Pretty solid.
Our designated hitter Herrera didn't do anything. Mason Wynn got a hit in there. I will say we have a couple people though. Pretty excited to see 3 out of 4s, some good 3 out of 4 game or hits. With Victor Scott the second already picking up 2 stolen bases this in that game. So good to see that we're already making some moves on the base path with the speed that we do have. We only got a couple guys that got that kind of speed though.
Sounds like a pretty good start on offense, but on the other side of the ball might need some work.
I'm just scared. It's again game 1, and this is how tumultuous it is. I'm just scared it's going to be instead of us picking up 8 in the 6th, we're just not going to be able to keep up that kind of offense. It's actually incredibly likely to not keep up that kind of offense in response to a bad inning. So, just like the Tampa Bay Rays, who have the exact same question as we do, we just got the nice little W at the end of our name. Bullpen.
For sure.
Figure out the fucking bullpen.
I want to do a quick rundown of some of the other games. I'm gonna do a quick rundown of some of the other games that happened today. Tigers Padres, 8-2 win for the Tigers on a Tariq Skubal 6-inning start with 6 strikeouts.
Love it.
And with a 4-hit game for rookie Kevin McGonigal. That's
Wow.
Which
impressive.
I do want to point out that apparently, I did not verify this, but I did see someone on Twitter that said a rookie 4-hit game is rarer than a perfect game.
Really?
I mean, that is just enough to be believable. Like, I mean, again, I would have to. I'm sure it's actually readily available, and I can actually probably just look it up right now. But that is a crazy fact.
Yeah, and Kevin McGonigal, I know before the season even started, people were saying that he was the front runner for Rookie of the Year, and I think this kind of solidifies that he's still the front runner. He's absolutely the front runner. That's an
Okay, yeah.
insane performance.
So sorry. So it was for their debut. There have been 25. It looks like
Yeah.
there have been 25 players that have had 4 hits in their major league debut.
Wow.
Yup. That's why I'm saying he is the 25th, I believe.
I believe so.
Um,
Yeah. I mean, I know some other notable names to have 4 hits in their MLB debut. Wilson Ramos in 2010, Kirby Puckett in 1984, and Willie McCovey in 1959.
wow. I will say,
Impressive.
reading here, it was a bases loaded 2-run double to start off his major league career as a batter.
Man,
And
what a guy.
you will say there are plenty. So it's funny. There's probably, I'll say probably. I guarantee it's more rare to get a 4-hit game than it is to debut and your first hit to be a home run. Because I feel like that rookies accidentally hit their first home run in their first at bat quicker than they hit a 4-hit game. 4 hits, 4 at bats usually happens per game. If you have a really really bad offensive game and everybody's getting out, you might only see 3. But um, yeah, that's good on him.
Yeah, I feel like on average you see 4 or 5 play appearances a game.
Some other games that went on.
Mm,
Phillies beat the Rangers 5-3. I don't know if there's anything super of note with that.
I think
Um,
the only thing of note in that game, I mean, the Rangers did mount a comeback effort in the ninth, but we did get the another wonderful Duran screenshot on the score bug because Johan Duran was pitching to Ezekiel Duran in that ninth inning. So I mean, that's probably the highlight of that
oh,
game. Pretty uneventful, especially for the Rangers up until that ninth inning. So I would say that's probably the highlight.
yeah. One game I'm very happy about the result of: Angels shutting out the Astros 3-0. I hate the Astros.
First,
It is well known that I hate the Astros as a Mariners fan.
man,
Yeah.
how you gonna do that to me? How you gonna put 2 teams I objectively hate to choose between the two? Because obviously, I hate the Astros for doing their cheating scandals and all the bullshit, and I'll never be able to root for them again. But also, the Angels took my Albert Pujols way too early from us, even though they actually probably saved the Cardinals from spending a lot of money on somebody who was never going to be anywhere near worth that money.
Yeah, I
Regardless, they still fucking took them, so I can't like either of those
like
teams.
I don't like either of them either. They're both in my division. They're both division rivals. I'm just
Ah,
more happy to see the Astros lose because I know that the Angels will fall apart. It's inevitable. They're going to be the worst team in the AL West.
oh, I
So
love Mike Trout
seeing,
though. I
yeah,
I am just poor guy.
he
Poor
did
guy
he
is
did
just on
have
the
a
teens.
did have a home run today though. So
Ooh.
uh,
I was
s-
actually looking this up because I found out about it not a couple days ago, and I posted it to the chat that McCutcheon, Andrew McCutcheon, former Pirate, unfortunately have to say those words, former Pirate. Uh, he got a 1-year deal to play with the Rangers, and they went
yeah.
ahead and put him in on opening day. He made the opening day roster, which was definitely not a guarantee, and he went for 1 for 2 and a strikeout. So
Yeah, It's
That's pretty good.
unfortunate. We will likely never be getting another furries tweet again. Which, I mean, it was already unlikely because for whatever reason the MLB was like not scheduling the Pirates for Anthrocon weekend. They haven't done it for the last like 2-3 seasons or something. I think it was 2
Homophobic.
seasons. Yeah, very
It's
homophobic.
Homophobic.
The
Yeah.
furries are just too powerful.
Yeah,
They're
and
like,
so
I did have a friend basically point out that with how big AC has become, there's not really much hotel space downtown. So I think that may be a part of why Pirates
that
have not been
coming up
home the
yeah.
this
last
weekend.
couple of
That would be
years.
really funny. Sorry, there's too many furries taking up hotel space for people to
I mean, there's
travel.
also the fact that the furries showed up for the Mets last time they were home, and the Mets took 2 out of 3. So maybe they're a little bit salty about that.
Hey chat.
Mm.
Guardians are up 1-0.
Oh man.
Is Gilbert having a collapse from
Season's
the World
over.
Series?
It's
still?
over,
Or not
guys.
the World
It's
Series, the
a
AL
it's a
Series.
Chase Stillwater home
Season's
run.
over. You know, fire Dan Wilson, fire the GM, trade Julio Rodriguez to the Angel. It's all over.
Trade. Well, I was gonna start trading all their players over to the Cardinals. Come on now, but
It's
Oh,
fine. It's the
speaking
No,
first
of-
inning. It's the
Cardinals
first
don't.
inning.
I gotta look this up because I completely didn't know who the fuck this guy was on our team. I've heard of the majority of our players on the Cardinals team. Our left fielder today though was Nathan Michael Church. And I've never heard of his name before, but I guess he competed for a start and he got the go ahead today. So
Very
another
nice.
thing is kind of showing that the Cardinals are, doing something here. Is it gonna last? I think you guys are much more spot on when we were talking about our teams, what we projected them to do. The Cardinals are just gonna be they're at the mercy of the other team. It's gonna be if they're gonna have a reliever give up 5 runs every 6th inning, 5th inning, 6th inning, fuck
I mean,
it. We might
that's
win a
the
lot of
beautiful
games.
thing about baseball is that that reliever gave up 5 runs today, but he's gonna go out in a couple weeks and just fuck around and throw like 2 scoreless or something like that and strike out 3
Yo.
guys.
Exactly. That is exactly what's gonna happen, and I'm just gonna have to, hope that it's not against the Cardinals, and hope that I'm basically if the Cardinals, the way I'm seeing it, if the Cardinals want to do good, they need the other team to help.
All right. I've got a couple other games that happened today, and I'll get to the last one, which was actually the very first one. I'll leave that for last because I want to talk about that.
Yeah, I figured that would be a good way to end it. Yeah.
Yeah. So Red Sox beat the Reds, shut them out 3-0. There was the Orioles beating the Twins 2-1. We already talked about White Sox Brewers. Brewers beat them 14-2. The Nats beat the Cubs 10-4.
We'd love to see that.
And I think that's all we've got right now to then go into the actual first game of the season that happened on Wednesday between the Yankees and the Giants, where the Yankees won 7-0. Let's talk about
it. Well, it was a sellout crowd. They filled the stadium. It was a sellout crowd. I tried to do some digging on this to see exactly how many people viewed on Netflix, but those numbers are not out yet. So I do not have correct numbers of any sort of viewership for you right now, unfortunately.
Can I just say that the Netflix broadcast last night is one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Was it?
There were so many random shots that were just completely out of contrast. Like, it just looked like somebody just hit you with a flash. Like the way the screen looked with the whiteness and the tint being off, it looked like somebody just hit you in the face with a flashbang. It was really bad. I mean, also the whole weird shit they did. Like why the fuck were those Why the fuck did they have Thing bring out the first pitch? Like it's just so stupid. And it was
Well,
just a really from a technical aspect. It was also just a really bad broadcast.
That's
I
what I'm
think
seeing here.
the thing I looked on there was, I guess, an on-screen feature that they were upset about, the score bug.
The score bug was really bad looking too. That sucked.
They said that's small. Um, on top of, I guess, like the opening was really, really like overly done. They had Bert whatever at the beginning of it go, "Let's play some baseball" or something, which basically it got really blown up to try and draw in. I would assume it was more entertainment for people that aren't just baseball fans. It was definitely more of a, let's see if we
Yeah.
can't bring in new viewers, you know. And people, the old faithful, 40,000 that are there, and the people watching from home that were probably already going to watch from home, didn't really care for it too much. Of course, a 7-0 game's kind of, it's not the most exciting game to try and get new people roped in.
One part of the game that I would love to talk about, even though
Mhm.
the Yankees were pretty offensive in this game, winning 7-0, they were able to get plenty of runs to secure the win. One player who we've talked about before was no part of that. And it was last year's AL MVP, Aaron Judge. Aaron
You're telling
Judge.
me a 7-0 blowout and Aaron Judge didn't?
Yeah, let me
He,
can I pull up do you have the stat line, Drewski?
I do. I was gonna say I could look it up, but
I have it up.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, despite the Yankees shellacking Logan Webb, Aaron Judge went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts.
was he walked at all or anything?
Nope.
Oh, how do you feel being the one guy, the captain, and your teammates do everything?
Yeah.
Woof.
Actually,
That
I apologize. He struck out 4 times and was 5 at bats.
Oh, we love to hear it.
Yeah, he had kind of the game that he's lived up to have in the postseason. Maybe it's a bit of a hangover from that just poor performance in the WBC.
it is of
To
course the
put in,
first game of the season, but still definitely not what you want to see from
Not at all.
the AL MVP for the first game. Did you guys see that first strikeout? That was
mm,
terrible.
That was brutal. That was like one of the worst swings I've ever
I
seen from
think
him.
I think we can all look at him now and say he's the reason why we lost the World Baseball Classic.
Oh yeah.
He
I mean,
wasn't
Bryce Harper had his struggles, but like he redeemed
he
himself at the
clutched.
end.
Yeah. Speaking of something I was gonna kind of compare to Argo, because Brendan Donovan was our Cardinal. Two people I used to say a lot because they were Cardinals at the same time was Brendan Donovan and Alec Burleson. I really hope for your sake, Argo, that Donovan does very well for you today.
Yeah.
Um,
Speaking of, Brendan Donovan hit a home run.
is it tied 1-1 now?
It's 1-1
We're
off of
so
a Brendan
back.
Donovan
We're
home run.
so
We're so
Brother,
back.
I was just talking about it.
We are so back. The Mariners are winning the World Series.
Oh, that is so good. So I was gonna say, I hope he has
Shut
a
up,
game
Drewski.
like Alec Burleson had today, because Alec Burleson was one of the few players that went 3 for 4 with a walk, no strikeouts. That's a good day, including he hit a home run as well. It was Burleson and Weatherholt, the rookie, who hit home runs for the Cardinals today. How's a 2.3 OPS sound? That's a good start. But
That
I
is a
was gonna
good
say,
start.
he also had a very impressive play at first base, which you don't get to hear very often. You usually only hear about how the guy, unless it's a stretch play, something like that. Nope, just took a line drive right at first, and he made a great catch. Absolutely kept it from being what probably would have been a double down the line, or he would have ate it either way. But Aaron Judge. Do you think the Yankees will ever get rid of him?
No, he's a Yankee for life.
Think so? Pinstripes for life.
I think he's a Yankee for life.
I'm just kind of looking through here the last little bits of a 7-0 game, kind of tough. A blowout for opening night. I'm kind of with everybody else. We shouldn't do that again. If you're gonna do it, just let it have multiple games, spread it throughout the day, make it a little bit more approachable from people who work, go to school, and do other things, and try not to make an extravaganza out of it like football does. I mean, football could have the same issue where it's an
I mean, it
absolute like
works for football
fucking
because
40.
football, I feel like, I mean, football also just, there's only 16 games to begin with, or some 17 games to begin with. So, it's fine to make the first,
Right.
like the absolute first one of the season. This year's going to be Seahawks versus whoever.
Well, they
It
announced it. I
makes sense to
forgot.
be a bit more extravagant. I don't think they announced who the Seahawks are playing yet. They just know it's also going to be on a Wednesday, taking notes from the MLB in that regard, which I think is kind of weird, but that's because of the game in Australia being on Thursday.
Oh, they have it. It's the Australia one I heard about where it's the 49ers and Rams in Australia.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
mean, that's two division rival. I think that it's going to be a Super Bowl rematch for that first game of the
Ooh.
season because the Seahawks do play the Patriots at home this year. And if it is
That
not the Patriots, the
could be an
only
interesting
other
one.
home opponent with any real intrigue to be on a prime time opening night game would be the Chicago Bears.
God, don't do that to us. God, don't do that. Look, we've had a lot of pieces changed, and there's going to be a lot of learning in the off season, and to go against the Super Bowl champs would be
I mean, you're
oh,
going to play them at some point. It's
because
just a
nothing's
question
going
of
to
if it's going
be.
to be.
Oh yeah, because and then you know how they write these schedules up because the Bears were such a um clutch come from behind team. Now you kind of have to, they're going to try and schedule games and the viewership around that. We won't see a season like that ever again because we're either going to do good and win easier and not have to come from behind, or we're going to just lose. Instead of being the clutch bears, it'll be the fucking loser bears. But kind of back to baseball,
You have
taking a
the
peek.
Pope on your side. As long as you have that,
Yeah, let's
you're
keep
good.
hoping. Keep hoping. Um, just taking a look around everything, surprising. I mean, a score you just don't see too much anymore is that the Twins Orioles game was 2-1. That's so Orioles
Yeah.
2-1. You don't see that low scoring. I mean, even the Red Sox Reds game being a 3-0 game, little rough. Um, low scoring, but it's crazy. I say low scoring. The Red Sox had 12 hits. Okay, they just weren't getting the people across home plate. Ugh, that's rough. But
Yeah.
yeah, you're still seeing quite a few double digit scores. With the Brewers and the Nationals putting those up high single digits. Oh, even the Mets 11. You know, something I've just wanted to point out towards the end of this. And then I don't know, you guys got maybe sorry, my brain. I don't know if you have anything else at the end of this to talk about, but was just
I have nothing. You
man,
share away, Solis.
we just have all these like high single digit, low double digit games nowadays. It's not what it was as I remember a kid. I remember like you scoring 3-4 runs a game, you're doing good. And now it's like if you don't score fucking 8, you might be losing. I think a lot of that I've wondered is it comes down to preparation, right? I think I don't know how all of them do batting practice or like how you can do your own practice throughout the day. But they have all this technology now where you can like set the thing up to like mimic arm motion of like the pitcher you're coming up to. I've heard of stuff like that. I just don't know if it's implemented in everything. But that would
I've never heard of that
you
personally.
haven't heard of that? I feel like yeah, maybe I'm crazy, but regardless, I think that was the biggest change in the last I'm 34, so call it the last 20-25 years is technology's improvement and the ability to prep for the same arm slots, the velocities, and all that stuff has allowed batters to just be better than pitching.
All right. I don't think I have anything more to mention here. I know we talked about it in the last episode with March Madness every once in a while. But there's Sweet 16 is happening right now.
Yeah.
Purdue.
My bracket is fucked.
Same
Yeah.
here.
I think about everybody's is.
Purdue pulled out a win while we were recording over
by
Texas.
Purdue.
I was kind of hoping Texas was
Off
going to
of a
win that,
buzzer
even though I
beater.
had no. Oh wow!
I know.
was
I
it
know
a
about
free
like
or was
5
it
or
a
6
tie?
Purdue alums, so I'm glad they won for them, and they don't have to crash out over a Matt Painter-led team losing early again.
Yeah, I think I had Purdue going all the way, or not all the way, but up there.
Ooh, and Iowa beat Nebraska by 8 or 6.
What?
They beat them by 6. We have a 9 seed in the Elite 8.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Iowa might be trying to do something. So I have the Illini like winning the whole thing. So I need them to lose to Illinois.
Oh, you homer!
But it is a really good story if Iowa 9 makes it into the Final Four.
You better hope Illinois beats Houston. They're playing right now, tied 14 in the first half.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pray for that one.
Yeah, I actually can't believe Iowa is in the Elite Eight. That's definitely the shocker of the tournament so far.
Florida destroyed their 1-6 in the first round, 114 to 55 to lose by
I was
one
gonna say
to
Iowa's
Iowa.
already the lowest seed remaining, so
Oh yeah.
I mean Texas was the lowest, and now they lost. It's Iowa, so I'm a lukewarm Iowa football fan, mainly because I think the punts meme is really funny.
Meme is really funny.
But they're also their coach also originally coached at Siena, which is where I went, so that's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Go, congrats Iowa. Thanks
Yeah,
for
rooting
ruining
for 'em.
everybody's bracket.
All right, I think that's a good place to wrap this up.
Yep. Jolly good show, everyone.
Good show. Thank you guys for watching the Untitled Furry Baseball Podcast. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Let us know how your team's doing. This video or this episode will come out on Sunday, so let us know how your teams are doing after the first couple of days of baseball. Baseball's so back, guys.
Baseball's back,
Watch out
baby.
for the Mets furries on Saturday.
Oh yeah, you guys are doing a Saturday.
Yeah.
Watch out for the furry Mets on Saturday. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.